Hello, white people. The Senate, the U.S. Senate, is having confirmation hearings for the Supreme Court seat that has opened up because RBG passed away, if you're living under a rock and don't know. So we're going to take a look at this character here, Amy Coney Barrett, and I am going to point out to you that this character is not a woman. This character is a male, and there's some people out there who think, oh, there's no way that anybody would do that. Well, there's lots of transgenders running around, but they don't have the money and they don't have the doctors to do the surgery to make these people presentable in public. So one clue is that when you see a person who's posing as a woman, they don't have hips. Men don't have wide hips. Men have narrow hips and wide shoulders. And a lot of these pictures, you'll see Amy Coney Barrett wearing a dress, and under her dress, she is wearing padding so that she looks like she has hips. But one of the telltale signs that you know, these transformers, because they're very sophisticated when they sit down. Look at these legs here, and look at her bottom right there. She doesn't have fanny spread. That looks like a male's legs and bottom, doesn't it? And then look at her face. Look at that brow ridge, those deep set eyes. That doesn't scare you or unnerve you. It's creepy. And I wasn't going to make this video, but I accidentally clicked on a video and I saw her talking. Okay, so if you can't tell what a tranny voice sounds like, oh, look at this face here. Isn't that creepy? Doesn't she look like an alien? It looks like she forgot to put on her human makeup that day. But anyway, the voice. You can always tell. I mean, you have to listen for it, but you can tell the transgender voice. Melania Trump. You know how she kind of talks like this? And then what's PewDiePie's girlfriend's name? She kind of talks like that too. What is her name again? She's Italian or something, supposedly Italian. So, and then look here, you know, she doesn't have fanny spread. And look at the size of those hands. Those are man hands. They're huge. And did you know that a man's hand, if he puts the palm of his hand, the bottom palm of his hand on his chin, and then his fingers will touch the top of his forehead, and also a man's head will be 3 times or shoulders, let's see, head will be 3 times the width of the shoulders. A woman's will be 1.5. And then there's also a finger digit ratio where a man's, I think it's ring finger is going to be longer than the pointer finger, or vice versa, something like that. I don't know. I mean, the ring finger, or the finger ratio isn't quite, it's not real consistent. But brow ridge, Adam's apple, thick neck, broad shoulders, big hands, big feet, muscular arms and legs, wide shoulders, narrow waist. Those are some telltale signs of when a man, you know, to be able to tell the difference between a man and a woman. And some people, this is fixed science, though. You know, we have this thing called forensics, and I've had people argue with me that there's no way that these elites are running around as the opposite gender. And so a scientist can dig up the skeleton, you know, if the skeleton is still intact or mostly intact, and they can tell you whether that skeleton is male or female. This is fixed science. You know, women have a skull shape, we have an eye socket shape, we have specific jaw shape, the size of our head compared to our shoulder width, our hip to shoulder ratio, the shape of our hands, the shape of our wrists, the shape of our ankles, the shapes of our hips. Anyway, well, that's about it for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.